I got another project today. This one is for a nest box for my Netherland dwarf. I don't have anything too small for her. The only sizes that I really have are this big, and it's a little too big. But the only thing that I really got to work with for it, making it, is pallet wood. So we're gonna go on a little adventure, and I don't have plans for it. The only plans I've got currently, I wrote on this cardboard here. It's going to be hopefully 16 inches long. It's going to be 9 inches tall. It's going to have a little rest on top that's 6 inches. Over here is going to be a 3-inch high lip. That way the babies, once they get old enough, they can climb over it. But when they're younger, you don't want them to climb over it. So we're going to go 3 inches. I might increase that a little bit. But instead, so that one has the angled sides. I'm going to have it completely boxed, and then just have from here to here opened. I might make the slit later, but we'll see if I can we'll see if I can do it without the slit. But for now, this is what I got to work with. So come on along with me and we'll see what I make. Alright, now that I got nice even cuts on the ends, I'm going to throw them through the table saw and make them a little thinner, because some of these boards are a little wider than 3 inches and I want to make them exactly 3 inches each. And then same for some of the other ones, like this board right here, how it's got an uneven edge on the side here. I just want to clean that up a little bit and make it so that I'm working with nice straight edges. So next. So first I'm going to start off with cutting this piece. I didn't talk about this one earlier. This one I'm going to use as bracers. So for example, my 3-inch pieces are going to be on top of each other. It's going to be kind of annoying to like screw or glue them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into strips and then cut it into the heights that I need. And these will be in the corners so that these pieces can screw into it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm not really good at explaining it verbally, but it's just going to be the bracing on the corners. That way I'm not splitting wood trying to screw into something this tiny. So, I mean, I still have a little drill bit that I'm going to use to make pilot holes before I actually put the screws into the wood, but this will just be a little bit easier. All right, take 3. I thought I was recording 2 different times. Apparently the little clicker that I have here doesn't like to work sometimes, but we're filming now. So you missed me using my table saw for the first time. This was a Black Friday sale purchase, early Christmas present to myself. And so this was like the first time I got to use this, and I was really happy that I was able to figure it out. It's pretty simple. But what I did was those bracers that I was talking about. First off, I had cut it at 9 inches high. That way it's the height that I'm going to need it at. And then I split it into 4 different pieces. That way I have something for the corners to screw the corner pieces into it. So I got those pieces already cut. And then for the table saw, what I was doing is I was taking all of the pallet wood and I was cutting it into 3-inch thick or wide pieces. That way I had straight edges, so when I put them together, I'm not going to have any gaps in between the creases. That way it's going to prevent wind going through it and the babies aren't going to get any drafty nest box. So I did that for all of them, so they're all 3 inches wide, except for this one here. I cut this one for 5 inches wide, This one, I'm probably going to use this for the top piece where she can sit up on to relax. So this part right here, I'll probably add another piece to it to make it a little bit more of a nice shelf for her to sit on. But that's what that one's going to go for. So now next step is to measure out the lengths that I need for my nest box and start cutting them on the miter saw to the lengths that I need, and then it'll be assembly time. So let's get to it. All right, I'm gonna do some assembly before I put the top on and see what else needs to be cut. If I messed up, then we got a whole pile of pallets back there I can redo the whole process with. So let's get starting to put things together and we'll go from there. So move this out of the way. And like I said earlier, I don't have a plan for this. I've got a general idea. That's usually how most of the stuff I do goes. And same thing with assembly. It's usually how most things goes. I have no plan. So these do help. They're just a little bit more of a nuisance than they need to be, but they did help. All right. So the base is done. Now I just got to do the sides, the top, and yeah, I will add another maybe half of inch and a half higher on this front edge, but that's basically it. So let me get the other side started. So here it is. I've got 3 sides done, the lip done. I am going to add another inch and a half piece. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it lengthwise with the table saw. And then I'm just going to screw it into place in the front here. Might need to cut a little bit off the edge too to make it fit better. But then I got to do the roof and it'll technically be done. There's one other thing that I like to do with the nest boxes. So with this old nest box I got here for my New Zealand's, what I did was on the bottom I put hardware cloth. I like to do it this way because the hardware cloth, it allows you to still be able to pick up the whole nest box with all of its contents, but it also allows for easy cleaning because the babies are going to be pooping, peeing on inside the nest box. So if I had a actual board right on the bottom, or if I was completely covered in wood and it was permanent, then I would have to keep having to clean it, and it would just be gross. With this, what I can do if I'm worried about a draft coming up in through the bottom, which I tend to do during the winters anyway, is I'll put a piece of cardboard on the inside of the bottom here. Cardboard would prevent air from coming in through, the cold air coming in, and I can still be able to lift it up, and then I throw the cardboard into the fire pit. So I like to do the mesh netting on the bottom, so that's what I'm going to do with this one here. And I don't think I'm going to put the angle on this. I kind of like it the way that it is now. We'll see how it goes in the future, but for now I'm not going to put the angle on the side. I'm just going to put a cover on the top and that 1.5 inch piece here for a lip, and she should be done. Hello, back again. I would like to say this is the next day. I did run out of sunlight, but we actually ended up going for a week vacation. So this is a week later, but I got to finish up making the Nestbox. Off camera, I ended up putting in a second piece of pallet wood on top. I figured I can always cut it back a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure how high she can jump over it, so I'm going to test it. And then if I need to, I can just remove it, slice it down the middle, or slice it down a little bit more. Pretty sure she can get into it, because I was thinking with the babies, you'd prefer them to stay in the nest box until they have a lot more fur on them to keep them warmer when they go out and explore a little bit. So I figured go taller than go shorter. But I'm about ready to start doing the top, and then we will grab some wire, put some wire on the bottom, and then it should be done. So I've already marked out the length that I need on these two pieces of wood here. I'm not sure if it's going to work putting a second piece on there, but I'm going to definitely cut this one to the length that I need it, put it on there, and then see where I go from here. So let's get to it. Well, here it is. Got the wire mesh flooring at the bottom. Got a little rest for her to sit up on top of. The height is great, so that way I can make sure, well, I mean, I still need to check it, but she can still jump in and out, and she still has enough of an opening in the top that she can jump in and out if need be. I've measured it so that she should be able to comfortably rotate in a circle in this box here, and let's go see if she likes it. It's not enough time, or it's not the right time to go put this nest box in for her, but I just want to see if there's any modifications I need to make before she does end up needing it for her litter. So let's go out in the back and see if Honey likes it. Excuse me, Bun. Hey, Honey, you're in the way. Silly girl. Well, I might have made it a little too big. We'll see if she likes it though. Well, it looks like she can at least get a little bit into it. I haven't seen her jump into it yet completely, but she does enjoy it as a chew toy for sure. I might have made it a little bit too big for her cage, but it seems like it should be able to work for a little bit. I mean, the Nestbox is only in there for while the kits are still growing their hair out. So all in all, it doesn't seem like she's afraid of it, so that's good. But anywho, thanks for watching, and hope you follow me for the next video. Bye!